No need for you to be wearing your coat. Take it off.
Your school days. Love them?
I was wondering about black hole formation because I was laying in bed last night and I started thinking about how 99% of everything is empty space.
Yeah, I don't like to dwell on that because that's quite worrying.
Or loathe them?
We know diameter is circumference divided by pi. 4 plus
What
3
is
plus
pi?
3 is 10.
Where did it come from?
You never forget them.
Right, clear off, scumbags.
At this school in Essex, 160 students are in their final and most important year, and their head teacher has grand ambitions.
The mantra that we use is nobody leaves without enough qualifications to make the next step in their life.
But that's easier said than done.
Sir, I feel like crying for no reason. Is that normal?
What, at your age, yeah.
They're teenagers.
Oh my God!
Emotional.
In the nicest possible way. It's a girl.
Excitable.
It's the laughing. Always laughing.
And a constant challenge.
You will never, ever come up against people who are as calm and patient as we are for the rest of your life.
How does he do? You are such a fucker.
This series reveals what life is really like in a modern secondary school.
Feeling bruised.
For the teachers,
We are trying to deliver you a future. I think we have a responsibility to give them the right chances.
You have no idea how much I like teaching you. You have no idea.
and today's kids at the very start of adult life.
How you do this year will determine what path you take in life.
This week, it's a girls' world. Carrie and Ashley are at the heart of the biggest and loudest clique in school.
People actually do think we look stuck up.
People really think we're better than everyone else, but we don't.
I've got a wedgie, I swear I'm allergic to them.
They'd like to think they are the popular girls.
Shut up!
And most of them just expect boys to fall at their feet.
But when they fall out with each other, the aftershock is felt by everybody.
Oh my God, shut up!
What's the problem?
He won't stop asking me questions.
Don't talk to her.
It's very, very time-consuming. When a friendship group is broken, it has a huge effect on school. Massive.
I don't even want to be associated with her. Everyone's going back.
We understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Good. Right. My problem with some people in the class is that they don't seem to remember stuff. So you need to remember the area of a circle formula, you need to remember the circumference of a circle formula. Area of a circle is?
What is pi? Where did it come from? Sir,
Yeah.
who made up pi?
I told you last lesson where it came from.
I don't really pay
I
attention
will
to
explain to you at the break, don't worry.
Oh.
Yeah? Good. Right, you are going to do some practice questions on area of a sector.
Fun.
Please remember... I'll wait, Carrie, yeah? It's not funny.
James, I'm bored of it.
Carrie, you're here to work, you're here to learn maths, yeah?
I'm just really hyper.
I don't care. Can you do some work?
I am.
It's taken you nearly 5 minutes. A book, come on.
When I'm messing around, I don't actually know I'm messing around until like get into a massive argument with the teacher or something like that. But I do actually want to get good grades in that and listen.
How many questions of those 4 have you tried?
The date?
None.
I think with Carrie, she's a very social person, and she seems to think that she can talk to people across the room, and I don't think she considers what it's doing to other people in the class. With Ashley, she does care about doing well. She always wants to get the questions right. She always wants the help when she's going wrong.
3.14.
She wants just the one-to-one, and I think sometimes she forgets there's other people in the class.
I cannot write the whole thing out in my book.
Okay, behind your faces, please.
Will you stop throwing things at me? Punch you in the face.
When was it that we had a massive argument?
Year 9.
And then we just hated each other?
For like 7 months, then we hated each other.
Yeah, and then,
never spoke.
And then halfway
we walked
through...
around each other the corridors, giving each other dirty looks and that. We hated each other.
I was like, why did we even fall out? She was like, I don't know. Like, we just started laughing.
It's after school, and the pair are getting on so well that Ashley's trusting Carrie with a girl's most treasured possession.
How long will my colour last? Our exclusive Colour Seal Conditioning Gloss adds intense shine and helps seal in beautiful, natural-looking colour for up to 8 weeks.
If it goes wrong, I'll actually hate you. Have you ever dyed someone else's hair before?
No. I've dyed my own hair, that's harder. It's harder to dye than I think so, anyway. Do you think it's funny? Just got pneumonia, sake. Wee.
What? You're putting wee in my hair?
Oh, I think it's wee. Pneumonia is wee, ain't it? Oh, God, it stinks. Oh, it's going right up my nose.
It's dripping down my face, Carrie.
Oh, crap. Well, you're supposed to wash it off straight away because it's poison.
Oh my God, it's burning my spot.
Yeah.
Let it be enough dry.
Oh, stop complaining.
Do you reckon it's going to go ginger?
No. What? No.
You're lying, ain't you?
Your mum's going to kill me.
I'll ring you back in a minute because I'm actually dyeing my hair.
Who is it?
Brad.
Brad is Ashley's ex, and they sit next to each other in top set science.
Guys, I want you to get your books out, use the revision guide, work your way through these things. I've got green revision sheets at the front as well. But this is independent learning. I'm going to come around and help you individually, but you've got to be revising.
I'm stuck on the first question. Fluorine has... How the hell do I know that?
What, you can't even...
Fluorine has
19,
protons.
9 and 19
If I don't want you to tell me, because you ain't going to be telling me in the test, hush your gums, blood.
People think you can't be in love at 15, but you never know unless you're, like, in a long-term relationship that's, like...
She was in love with Brothers.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, she was.
I wasn't.
Yeah, you was.
I wasn't.
Yeah, you was.
What are we doing, guys?
From the bowl.
Okay, you need to make sure you understand those things.
Yeah, you went through them.
But make some notes on them.
All right. From north to the east, to the west, to the south. You don't know when footsie's about.
Oh, shut up! That's the only line in the word you know!
I know the whole song, bruv.
I'm not your bruv.
I think at first it weren't really that serious, but it did get more serious.
And were you in love?
Yeah, I would say that I was. And went on and off for like 3 months.
And how are things now? Are you on and off?
Off, completely. Yeah, we talk sometimes, but as mates.
Nah, blood. I'm not reminiscing the past.
Really?
Really. Not anymore.
Florian's at the top.
Man is gonna be honest, live up to the truth. But man, I can't do that.
Why does fluorine have 9 protons, Ashley?
Guys, next week are your mocks. Yeah? Then it's Christmas holidays. Then you come back and you actually do the exam for real.
Watch, but I guarantee she says something just so you can hear it.
Are there lots of relationships within school? Or
Better a relationship out of school, to be honest. You don't see them every day, you don't... Like, people can't shit stir it and stuff like that.
So if you were given a question like this, Vinny?
Yeah.
Where you been?
D5, Y3, everywhere.
Right, you haven't been here, though?
No, I haven't been here.
Take a seat.
Where?
Vinny is Brad's best mate and is in top set maths with Ashley and Carrie.
Oh my God, I'm so confused.
But he's less interested in geometry than Brad and Ashley's on and off relationship.
So get that copied into your book as it is from there.
You're going back out of Brad now, aren't you?
20 years.
Yeah, but it's complicated.
It's usually kind of
Confusing.
No, but you are boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, Issa, you don't understand.
Wait, so you've told him yes, so he thinks...
No! Oh my God, shut up!
You're going
Shut
out,
up!
but you don't want to go.
Can you ask him to shut up?
Okay. What's the problem?
He won't stop asking me questions.
Don't talk to her.
Why does she get what she wants?
Because I want you to stop. I want you to stop asking me
Because
questions.
if you ask... Ben, the trouble is, if you ask a question, she's going to get upset.
Fair enough. I'll just say,
Ben.
why is Ashley saying that you ain't going out with her?
It's nothing to do with you, so I don't actually...
You wouldn't have told me then,
to do
innit?
with you, so you don't have to get involved.
Look, I've stopped asking her questions. I'm just going to ask someone else something.
Ben.
There's not a teacher in the country who teaches teenagers who doesn't know that feeling of, oh, God, they had her out. Right, how am I going to deal with that at the start of the lesson?
No, we haven't done any of that.
Do I allow them to talk about it and get it out of the way for 2 minutes? Do I say, right, I'm not interested? You know, this is about lessons, not about your social life, and plough through it, really.
If he starts again, don't shout. Yeah? You tell me if he does it again. Yeah?
I didn't even do anything. I asked her a question. She's like,
Go away from me. Oh my God.
does my head in, it actually does. She's obviously gave him some indication to say that they're going back out. I'm like, Brad, what, you going back out with Ashley? He's like, yeah, we're going back out. I ask Ashley, she's like, no, we're not going back out. Harsh.
Pupils aren't happy unless there's drama. And the more drama, the better. And as long as the drama's not on them, they don't care, so they're just going to carry it on.
It's lunchtime, and it's not just Vinny Ashley has to deal with. Carrie and a group of the girls are gossiping, and they've stopped talking to her. She has no idea why. But the school's virtual grapevine is buzzing.
It's very simple to gather a crowd, even though it's a virtual crowd. Probably 60–70% of all the issues that we have around kids and broken relationships between each other at some stage has been played out on Facebook.
One thing comes out, and then by the end of the
Day,
week,
everything,
yeah,
everything.
everyone knows everything.
Instead of a problem being in isolation, which you can then deal with, now the problem happens in a pond and the ripples spread out.
Go, before she can get to gun. Yeah, she can go outside.
You just think you've got your mates and then they start calling you names. It's not the nicest feeling in the world.
That was jokes. Everyone, it's like Slate Ashley Day, I swear.
Girls are very powerful and can be very nasty and bitchy. I think especially as they get to year 10 and 11s, the group splits and isn't it about competing and challenging, and girls hold a grudge.
Ashley's been isolated by some of her friends.
So Ashley came to us, so we accepted her fine. I don't change my opinion on her. Still a nice girl, still my mate, so I'm just going to stick by it.
She has to go to a class where she doesn't know if Carrie will speak to her.
Today is your last lesson planning and producing and making your campaign. Very last one.
Oh, it makes me well dizzy.
Ask yourself what you and your group want to achieve by the end of the lesson. Continue planning your campaign with your group and take advantage of having the ICT room, all right? The posters look fantastic. They come out really, really well, guys.
She can't take us while you're hearing her. She can't.
They feel a bit sorry for her. She hasn't got anyone. She hasn't even got anyone to sit with.
Wait, Shannon, everybody knows something. Is that this secret everyone knows and I'm not allowed to know nothing about it? You piss me off and I was like sitting there texting from the cafe. There's clearly something going around about me. Don't you dare cry. It made me cry at lunch as well because the fact is that you can trust people and they really can't. These things don't look on. I'm going to ask Carrie now. Carrie, apparently in the toilets at lunch, she was talking about me.
Saying what?
I don't know. I'm asking. And what's all this secrecy thing? Because in the cafe at lunch, it was like everybody knew something and I didn't. Is it something about me or something? What? It is, isn't it?
Put it.
What? What are you laughing at? Who's that?
No.
What?
It's not my place to say.
Was it about, can you say if it's about me or not? And then I'll... You've got the ump with me or something? What?
If I want to be out of order, I can be like really horrible to people. I'll be two-faced at times, well, most of the time. But every girl's two-faced. There's not a girl that wouldn't be two-faced. Even if she's you think she's the nicest girl, she'll still be two-faced.
Because she started laughing. Well, I'm not being funny yet, but that whole group has got the up with me now. I ain't seen this class no more. Actually going.
Life outside of school is a hand grenade in a lesson. You know, when it happens and things are difficult, you know, it can just trash lessons. That lingering animosity, specifically between girls rather than boys, can have a massively limiting effect on what you can achieve in a lesson.
All right.
I'm not actually sitting in this class anymore.
Right, can you step aside for a minute, please?
No.
Go outside for a minute.
Because it looks bad on me. Apparently you was talking about me in the toilets, is this true? Have you got it on me? I went, no.
Who would have told her that you was talking about her?
No one, because it was only
Well then how would she know you was talking about her in the toilet?
That's all I knew, actually.
Everyone gets involved, and I'd be a hypocrite if I said not to get involved, because you do, and you do have an opinion about it. If someone tells you something, you're going to have an opinion. I think it's quite funny.
Sorry.
See you later.
Oh, you need time out of the lesson, so please take it. I don't mind you taking it, and I'll be out with you in a second. All right, I'll be out in a second.
Ashley's in the toilet.
Ashley, come out.
Some of the girls have stopped talking to her.
What's going on?
I don't actually want you to say everyone's got some problem.
What do you mean? What?
No, I don't. It was like everyone has a problem with me, you know.
No,
Everyone.
people had a problem with you.
It was right, I need some more sexy pictures. Come on, move your body, sex on the beach.
Where, Carrie? What? Her BBM status. Is what? Can't fucking trust anyone.
Where's Ashley?
I'll give you another minute, I want you back in then, because... But, okay. But you have to, because I can't have you in a lesson in here. And you need to get some work done during this lesson.
Shan, did you know she's crying in this pal? She's coming. Why have you put loads of sex pictures?
Come on, move your body, sex on...
Any more news?
No.
Oh, that looks well good.
She was crying just now.
Just now?
In the toilets.
Talking needs to stop. Thank you. Right then, can you please save your work, those of you who are on computers? As part of your mock exam, all citizenship students will be given an hour to type up their evaluation. The end is near. All okay about next week? Yeah, sure, right then. Stand behind chairs and need to check computers.
There's always rumours going around. How many of the rumours are true normally?
That people will add little bits to it or accidentally tell it wrong, or people make it out to be worse than it actually is. So yeah, it definitely gets twisted.
If you listen to them, they're always bitching about each other. Like you get two on their own and the rest all become targets.
It's when it goes behind each other's backs. That's when you realise that people don't like each other.
They could bitch for England, the girls in our school. I swear we have got the worst ones sometimes.
They entertain me with their conversations. If there's like anything wrong, they just overreact so much.
People did obviously think that it was unfair. I remember thinking that it wasn't something that your friends should do.
Ashley's ex-boyfriend Brad arrives at school. He finds himself in trouble before the first bell.
What's going on? Nothing, bro. I'm getting screwed at by everyone. What? Because I drew some fucking proper detailed cock on a table in L, Mr. Norton's room.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know.
Ashley isn't in school. She's off sick. Her mum, who works in the school office, is worried.
She said, no, I'm not getting up, I'm not getting up. I said, just shut up, get up. Really preached it. Then she got up, she got a uniform on. Sick. I said, that you just been sick? She went, yeah, I went, I'm just going back to bed.
How did they find out it was you?
Because I was sitting there.
Just don't admit it was you.
Yeah, I know. I said that it was already there. I just did the pubes and that. No, if you see a dick there, I just added to it.
Brad, you drew the dick as well.
Yeah, I know.
Classes have started, and some of the staff are wondering why Ashley is absent.
See, she might not be here because of the rumours and things that are going around. I mean, that would put anyone off coming into school, wouldn't it? Because they're nasty.
It'll be destructive amongst all of them because they'll all start taking sides over it.
A lot of it will be jealousy. Maybe, you know, fancying somebody else and they fancy them, you know how girls are.
Yeah.
Let's hope it all blows over because you don't want that going on, it's not nice.
Makes school interesting, doesn't it?
It's real life.
Brad and best mate Vinny have just heard a rumour that Ashley's been linked to another boy. He's threatening to take the boy on in a fight.
How you going?
Miss Conway, his head of house, needs to defuse the situation.
What's going on then, Brad?
Well, Ashley was telling me that she wanted to go back with me. And that she was still telling me that she loved me and that.
Yeah.
I was like, well... And she was still telling me to wait like up a month.
I just feel sorry for him.
Right.
Yeah. If anyone should be hurt, it's her. She deserves to be. Brad don't deserve it, he ain't done nothing wrong.
Who are you annoyed with?
Everyone.
Have you had a fight with another boy over a girl before? Has that happened?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, my concern is, obviously, the fact that you're gonna do something stupid and you've worked far too hard to let that happen. I mean, I can support you, give you some time out if you need it, in the nicest possible way. It's a girl. Yeah?
Doing it for weeks on end, telling him she still loves him and that, and then he'll go, well, if you still love me, will you go back out with me? And she'll be like, no. How does that make sense?
I'm sure it makes sense somewhere along the line.
It takes a bigger man to stand up and walk away. And at the moment you're thinking, no, I just want to batter someone. If someone's come to you and said, someone said something and I'm going to have a fight with them, you have to take stuff like that seriously, yes. Because that's their way of reporting it. So you need to investigate it and go from there.
Miss Conway's taken a radical decision. She's isolating Brad to prevent him from having a fight. Stan from Student Support is looking after him.
I think sometimes just having someone that's on their case, someone that has the time, which is what I'm afforded, the time to deal with things, the time to pick them up when they're not doing what they should be doing, and I need them to actually think I'm on their side. Right, if you do this, what's going to happen when he gets back to Mum and Dad?
There's not a lot he could do if he's down.
What's his views going to be, I mean, when he's dragged in here about you fighting in school and everything else? Because that's what happened, isn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't fighting in school.
I take it you and Ash are off and finished now.
Yeah.
Love's the wrong thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it really bad. Yeah. And you ain't over it either, are you? No. Oh dear. Who are you angry at, really?
Actually.
No, well, it's a shame you're ugly. I thought I'd just say go and get another bird, but that ain't going to happen, is it? But is it the end of your life? Is it the end of your world? No. And do you know what? It is the end of you and Evan.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be in here chatting. We should have you in lessons working.
Yeah.
Onwards and upwards, mate.
Yeah.
I think with some of them, it comes down to testosterone, and some boys become young men much earlier. And I think they push boundaries, and they push boundaries that we can't let go because we've got 800 other pupils here, and then it's bedlam. And you can't ignore the correlation between behaviour and results.
And those staff that haven't necessarily got teaching loads at all, The time and effort that they put in is just priceless. We wouldn't be anywhere near as successful without them, not even close. And not certainly if we'll continue to have enough staff to do that when the government cuts kick in properly. That's a worry for the future.
So for this one, I'm going to do 2 lots of the radius times by pi, and then divide that by 4.
I hate pi.
Are you with me on this?
Yeah.
This is easy, yeah? Not always as easy as that. Books back to me. From there.
Brad's enforced isolation has refuelled the school gossip.
Carrie? Yeah? Do you know why he's isolated? Because he's going mental about it. Oh, Becky, do you know why he's isolated? Because they're trying to prevent him from going mental in lessons, because he's actually going mental about it. You know the thing about he's going to beat up. Ow! Beat up! Ow! Georgia, ow! Yeah. I'm going to break him up now. Vinny found out, so Vinny took a beer and Adina, and them three had a race of who could tell Brad first. Apparently he's isolated to stop him from going mental about it. Oh, I want to see Brad, I really want to talk to him. Brad said he was going to bang him. God, everyone's going back.
School gossip is also fuelling the weekly senior staff meeting.
We got an email from a parent on Tuesday evening saying, Mr. Goddard, I'm very, very concerned that my son, has received an email from another student in your school, which shows 3 gay men naked in a shower, playing with each other's genitals and having sex. Could you possibly look into the matter? So Vicky, in his usual way, replied and said, I'm really, really sorry that's happened. I'm not in school tomorrow, but Mr. Drew will speak to your son about the gay naked men in the shower having sex. I then had the pleasure of speaking to the first boy about it, and I said to him, did you send the email? I don't know what you're talking about. Did you send an email to... I'm really sorry I didn't mean to. With him stood by the printer like this. Right, so then I phoned his dad. I said, I'm really sorry to have to share what I'm about to share with you, and you can rest assured that I don't particularly want to talk about it as much as you probably won't want to hear about it, but this is what your son has done. And he went, oh. I said, you may have to supervise all his internet browsing for a period of time in order to ensure that he isn't viewing graphic porn on the internet in your house, in your dining room, which is where he tells me that the computer is.
The conversation turns to Ashley, who has now been off school for 2 days.
Ashley has been off, and Sally said that she's been very well, she hadn't been eating at all, but...
So why is she off, Sally?
She's off because of boyfriend issues and things like that.
No, but the other girls in that group, are we going to have a kick-off with
I don't know. She probably knows what's going on and is very emotional about it all anyway.
Yeah.
That's what the rumour mill's like.
Who's her boyfriend now?
Bradley Watton.
Oh,
those two are in a lot of the same classes as each other.
She now needs to come to school tomorrow.
It's 3 days since Carrie and Ashley fell out, and Ashley is still off sick.
So who can tell me what a polymer is?
A chain of monomers.
Brilliant. Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Start. Working with chemicals, there's no hidden agenda. Chemicals do what they do, and that's it. Whereas in a class, if they're not behaving, it could be for a million different reasons. What they've had for lunch, what they haven't had for lunch, what someone said to them at break, what's happening at home. A million and one things. Could be even just the wind. If it's a windy day, behaviour tends to be worse.
Dr. Lucas's receding hairline, it's like this. This is his hairline. And then this is his face.
That's a really good picture. You've got the beard.
Right, and then he drew his ponytail.
And his side.
Shh. Guys, what that means is we haven't got time to waste.
Posters!
How about we make some posts about polymerisation using information we've got in our books?
Yeah. Yes, please!
The books are at the front of the class. I'm going to go and get some paper for it.
Oh my god, I'm so talented. Oh my god, I'm so proud of myself.
You could actually be on the catwalk, couldn't you? Oh my god.
Which one?
No, you're shit.
With Ashley's seat empty, boyfriend Brad keeps himself amused with best mate Vinny.
The other day I drew the sickies.
But I need another pen.
Dick, yeah.
Another pen? What? What do you mean?
Yeah. No, dick.
Vinny, can you get out, please?
What?
Can you get out, please?
Why?
Because of what you're talking about, and I think you need to leave.
I said prick, yeah. And he said, what did you say? And he thought that I said that.
So I still want to get out?
I think, actually, if you both get out for the moment, OK?
I'm going to say that you said someone was being sick.
Yeah.
Because that starts the rest as well.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, could you just say split?
No, I'll just be like, I was talking about Ashley being sick.
What did we actually do?
Exactly. You just don't want us to be in the class.
Connor, how hard are you working on a scale of 1 to 10? I think you're working his dropped from a 5 or 6 to like a 2 or 3.
Is Brad okay to come in?
We can try it, maybe. We can try it if they can answer these 2 questions I've got on the board and put them into their books. I've got 2 questions on the board. I've spoken to several of you already. Please write an answer in your own words.
No, and I text Ashley, I was like, I take it you ain't coming to school tomorrow, and she was like, don't know.
Bradley, right, when you came back in, it was on the understanding you were going to be doing some work.
Yeah.
Happily you. Yeah, anyway, moving on.
And I was like, who are you going to hang around with? And I was like, what, Shelley? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, well, because she weren't slagging you off in English. You can't even chat. Oh my God.
Listen, I'm the only one, right, that has basically standed her ground for her while she hasn't been here. And then you say, I was slagging her off. Jill! I don't see what it has to do with their friendship.
Can we be standing behind our places, please, guys? Tuesdays, after school, in the science department, we are doing revision classes.
Hey!
This is the time when you need to start putting in a little bit extra effort. And I'll see you next time. Off you go, guys. See you later, Vinny.
I was wondering about black hole formation because I was laying in bed last night and I started thinking about how it could happen. Everything would collapse. Because of the great density of everything, I was thinking maybe they could form a large neutron or something. The orbits of planets and stuff coincides with the orbital of an electron in an atom.
And that's the stuff that, if it doesn't scare you, you don't really understand it.
It's the end of the day. Ashley's coming in for her revision class. It's her first time back since falling out with Carrie.
All right. Yeah, you look all right now, actually. Your road's better.
I didn't want to take my dressing gown off.
How come you won?
I'm going.
See you later.
I don't look at that situation of Ashley and think, oh, it was terrible, you had 3 days off school. I mean, I do think it's terrible she had 3 days off school simply because she's year 11 and needs to pass her GCSEs. But that's the kind of robot side of me that says, get up, go to school, do your work, pass your GCSEs, be a success. So there has got to be a bit of a robot of me, and I have got to do that. But clearly, in her mind, it was an absolute disaster. It was a terrible thing and she couldn't cope.
Was that hard to come back in?
Well, sort of, yeah, because it was like the whole, weren't talking to hardly any of them, so...
Should be taking them in. Welcome.
Hi.
Grab some paper from the front, I'll get a few more textbooks.
Okay.
Wait, don't bring your germs on me, I just got better.
So what am I doing?
We're the ill corner. What actually happened to start it? Did you have rows on you?
No? I don't know. I text you, didn't I? I was texting you and I don't know how it started.
I don't even know where it started.
I missed like a couple of days of school and everything's different. It's really weird.
Anything nice?
Chewing gum. Can I have one, please?
OK, if you need to sit down to your detention, sit down.
It's okay.
I'm starving.
Not all after-school sessions are voluntary.
Carrie Schofield.
Yeah.
Carrie's in detention for skipping detention.
So, because you obviously want to pass your art GCSE, you made sure that you went to Mr Gower's coursework detention.
Yeah, but I forgot.
And there we are. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's silly though.
Sorry, do you want me to let you fail your GCSEs?
I'm not going to fail.
Do you want me to let you fail?
No.
No. And unfortunately, when your teacher says you need to do some study work, coursework, revision work or whatever, you need to attend. Thank you. OK, next.
In year 10, I just thought it was a big laugh. Like, I never took anything seriously. But now my GCSEs are coming up, and I actually think, oh, I actually need to get into college. I need to get these grades, I need to, like, start actually listening.
Carrie Schofield is probably the most annoying of all the students, but she's the most able artistically. But it can be very frustrating when she doesn't produce the work you want her to, so that she can fulfil that potential, because you've got to do the graft. If you move her in the right direction, I think she could do, you know, wonders in the future.
Carrie?
Yeah?
Thank you.
He's distracting me.
Sorry, how old are you?
15.
Right.
I forget things. As soon as I've learnt them, I forget them. Like yesterday, I done maths. We done like trigonometry or whatever it is. And then I learnt how to do it and I was quite good at it. And then today I forgot how to do it again. I had to look back in my book. So that's why I think I'll be so bad in tests, because I won't remember it all.
Can you remember what pi is?
No.
Yeah. Ashley's been successful building bridges with some of the girls.
Have a lovely evening, thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everyone.
But the rift between her and Carrie looks set to disrupt another school day. Best friends Ashley and Carrie haven't spoken for 4 days.
Where are we going? Which one is it? We don't know where it is.
The fallout continues to be a disruption for the entire group.
Fuck off. I hate you. You're scared. Coming from you. Is it this one or the other one? What? Precious called us a scat. Who? She just said coming from. Is she like me? She said coming from scat or something. She said coming from the scat. Coming from the scat.
Ashley goes to see Miss Conway for advice.
I'm listening. Then I got an abusive text again saying that I called Carrie a scare and then went coming from you. I was like, actually, Shelley called me a scare. Then the other day when I was off school, I got abusive texts, abusive phone calls, and I said, can you stop ringing me? I was like, can you not talk to me? If you've got nothing else to say to me, can you not talk to me? I was getting all this abuse when I was off ill. I was like, I'm trying to sleep, please leave me alone. I don't know what's happening.
Do you want us to step in and do anything or say anything?
I don't know, because...
I think they all need to be taught a lesson. Saying, it's out of order. How would they like it if they had no friends?
But have you...
You have friends.
She went, you're really not ill. I said, I'm not ill, no. I said, I'm not ill, I'm not being sick or nothing, no. I was like, do you want to leave me alone now? Because I don't answer none of your questions. But,
I think whereas in the past maybe it was easier as a kid to hide and to be out of contact, even when kids aren't going out to play with their mates, they're still on their mobile phone all day, they're still on the computer with MSN, there's no hiding escape. Now in one respect, great, a very good connected up world, they live like it all the time, but I think that's to do with the pressure. I think there is no place to hide as such.
Actually, can you pass my biscuit thing on top of the wall?
There?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
It's up to you how we deal with it. We can deal with it. We can sit you all down, go from there. It's your choice. I think girls get everyone involved. The more involved, the better. And they'll just constantly talk about it. Talk and talk and talk and talk about it until everyone's talking about it. And it'd be far easier if they just had a conversation themselves.
With no resolution in sight, Ashley heads off to her lesson. It's maths with Carrie.
Okay, so this is linked to what we did last lesson. If you weren't here last lesson, you either can talk to someone around you or you can try and rely on your knowledge. We listen, please.
Sorry, I'm not times by a part.
We listen then, please. Excellent. Right. This question is very similar to what we were doing last lesson. Diameter of a semicircle. So, I would suggest that you draw a semicircle. That's obviously the diameter of it, 1.5 metres across.
It's hurt my brain.
I don't need a comment. I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
If you don't want me to help you, you can go.
Didn't say anything about
You
you.
don't need to make a comment. I told you that.
Well, I don't get this at all, and I'm not getting any help.
Pay attention to me.
I
You
am
might
paying
get some
attention.
help.
I am paying attention. I'm saying to these, I don't get it because I don't understand a clue what pie is. It's something you eat.
I wouldn't want to just say, right, that's it, you're out. I wouldn't want to do that to her. Because at the end of the day, she got the ability to do well. The conversation's gone along the lines of, if you do the right thing, if you let me teach you, you can get a B. And I think she knows that, but at the moment, I think she's struggling to realise what she needs to do.
Finished?
Oh, I hate maths.
Obviously, if you need extra help, you can stay behind. I can give you some extra help on it. I want you,
Okay, Dad.
on Monday, to know that formula. Because if you don't know that formula, I'm not going to be very happy. What is the formula for the area of the circle?
Pi times r squared.
The side row go.
It's break, and Carrie heads off to the cafe with a group of the girls. Without realising what she's doing, Ashley joins the same queue.
I don't want to be associated with her.
No one's going to be there. Becky, go, come get it food from the other cafe, and then we'll go in there.
Next time, Sunday.
Go in there.
What, in the other cafe?
Who's actually hanging around with? Sanjiro. Who's still talking to her? I'm not getting involved.
Yeah, exactly, it's not my problem.
Ashley is still being ignored by Carrie and some of the girls.
How you doing?
Alright.
Have a seat, come on.
Brad has calmed down.
Text me last night saying what's going on between us. He was like, to be honest, I don't want to fight.
You're not going to do anything stupid though, are you? And I think he needs to know that as well, because he's probably walking around school kind of thinking, I've got to watch my back.
Yeah.
Brad could be there, Vinny could be there. It's not worth it, Brad. Yeah?
His Conway makes me feel like there's always somewhere to go when I'm angry or upset or whatever. Just made me realise how much it distracts me from school. So I weren't paying attention to lessons because of how I felt.
All right then.
Yeah.
Off you go. Grab that.
Brad has put the disruption to one side.
Carrie?
Yes?
Other side, because you're sitting there chatting and gossiping with Amy.
The same is not true of the girls, who are still allowing the split to disrupt their GCSEs.
It's fine if two people falling out. What's not fine is when other people join in. That's when it becomes a problem.
No, I reckon it'll just sort itself out.
The school is less convinced. Carrie is summoned from one of her classes,
Come the library, girls.
and the two girls are brought together.
I'm not getting involved, obviously, with this friendship thing, but I think it's got to be sorted, because we don't want another week of last week, do we?
No.
Right, I'm going to give 5 minutes, but just remember, friends always have arguments and make up, right?
It was like something in the past, and I heard about it and I thought it was true, and it wasn't, but I just had a massive argument with Ashley. Once I've calmed myself down, I should be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that really, and then just be like, I don't know, I don't really apologise, but I don't think I apologised to her. I think I said sorry for spreading loads of stuff. We just laugh about it now, but
What do you say now then when you laugh about it?
just how silly it was and pathetic it was. That's what I'm like. If I fell out with someone, I'd talk to him and I'd literally be fine with him. It wouldn't go gradually like talking to him. I'd just be like, 1 minute we fell out and 1 minute we're fine.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
I just remember seeing Ashley and Carrie together and I was just like, yeah, that lasted long, didn't it? It's like the stuff they did to Ashley was really kind of harsh, but yet she took them back as their best mates, which I don't understand.
just going to school.
Go on
something,
and start talking,
and then
yeah.
you talk about something, you like laugh, and then just goes on from there, really.
Yeah.
Stuck with it now, unfortunately.
Love you.
I'm going to make for dinner tonight then. All the
We're going back to ours and going back to Carrot thing, going home.
It has a huge effect on school, massive, but often short-lived. It's a hand grenade that goes off and then the dust settles, sometimes the same day, sometimes a week, sometimes a month, but it does settle because we as adults can stand back from it and say, this is just part of growing up, you know. You fall out, you find out who your friends are, you deal with it and you move on. And as adults you can see that. It's all-consuming and devastating if you're 15 and inside it, though.
Come on, get out.
It's results day. Ashley achieved 9 GCSEs at A* to C. And in true best friend style, Carrie did exactly the same.
Yeah, I could have done better if I tried harder, but I'm happy anyway, so...
Despite being unable to remember what pi is, she got a C in maths. And the girls are as close as ever.
You got B in English.
Next week...
I'm not interested in why you can't behave.
Has Mr. Drew finally met his match?
Don't fold your arms when you're talking to. Don't put your hands in your pockets. Or just hold them there.
I see him more than I'd see my friends at school. I'm with him so much.
As much as I feel like I am your parent, I am actually not.
I know how to push his buttons easily.
Do we not try hard enough for you?
I think we're quite similar people. We're quite argumentative.
I'm not happy about something, but that doesn't matter.
How does it not matter?
Oh my God!
That's next week on 4. Find out more about Passmore's staff and how the students are faring at channel4.com/Essex. Darren Brown launches an experiment to see if it's possible to programme Joe Public to become a celebrity shooting deadly assassin tomorrow night at 9. And if you think that's hard to swallow, check out Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares USA. That's next.